Amber Heard and her legal team, led by Elaine Bredehoft, filed a motion to toss the verdict. And based on what they filed, the case may still be far from over. But what exactly did they say in the motion? Do they blame Judge Penny Azcarate for an alleged unfair trial? We have all the juicy details. On June 24, 2022, when the legal teams for both Johnny Depp and Amber went back to court, Judge Penny Azcarate indicated that she was not inclined to schedule more hearings in the case. She actually put the final judgment in the court record after Elaine Bredehoft argued for further hearings, and bluntly told Elaine that if she wanted to appeal the verdict from the 7-person jury, she would have to file motions with the court. The judge also informed Elaine that Amber will have to put up an $8.35 million bond with an annual 6% interest before any appeal would move forward. Well, Elaine finally filed a motion to toss the verdict. And you can bet that the document was full of allegations. It almost looked like they blamed Judge Penny for how the verdict went. But what exactly did they call unfair in their motion? First of all, Amber's legal team argued that to find that Amber had actual malice, Johnny Depp would have had to show that at the time the Washington article was published, she did not believe she had been harmed. They also argued that Johnny never challenged the fact that Amber did not write the title of the op-ed, which was one of 3 defamatory statements comprising Johnny's defamation claims. According to Amber and her team, instead, Johnny contended Amber's tweet of a link to the article the following day constituted actionable republication. They also argued that since the UK trial, publication of The Sun and the op-ed were all happening around the same time. It was impossible to separate which of them exactly harmed Johnny Depp, and they argued that Johnny Depp didn't prove that it was exactly from the op-ed. He had reputational damages. Well, followers on social media found it outrageous that Amber brought in the idea of belief, with one noting, "She had every chance to put that argument before the jury, and never did. You don't get to just change your defense strategy after the verdict because the one you chose, to double and triple down on every outlandish claim, didn't work." Another person agreed, adding, "Well, they should have brought that up during the trial. It's like they are trying to relitigate the whole trial in their motion. Sorry, Elaine, you should have thought about that before." And someone else wrote, "This to me was the most telling part of Elaine's filing. In essence, it was saying that Elaine knew Amber is so mentally ill that she believes her own lies, and that everyone should accept that reality as fact. Therefore, Amber can't be guilty of defamation." Anyway, Amber's legal team also stated that Johnny had no evidence that he lost Pirate 6 because of the op-ed. But followers noted that in the trial, witnesses actually testified that he lost Pirate 6 because of the op-ed. They also stated that there was absolutely no evidence the op-ed caused Johnny any financial losses. But if we remember correctly, it actually came up in court that Johnny lost at least $40 million in 1 year. In addition, they also repeated that there was suppressed evidence claiming that they could not introduce evidence that Johnny Depp had already, in fact, been adjudicated in the UK court of his choosing to have committed not just one act of DV, which was all that was needed in the Virginia case for a defense verdict, but 12 acts. So, the document also called for an investigation of improper juror service, claiming there was a public information discrepancy in the birth year listed for one of the jurors. Apparently, the juror identified in the filing as Juror 15 had a listed birth year of 1945, but publicly available information indicates a birth year of 1970. According to the motion, the discrepancy raised the question of whether Juror 15 actually received a summons for jury duty and was probably vetted by the court to serve on the jury. They wrote, "It is unclear if juror number 15 was in fact ever summoned for jury duty or qualified to serve on the panel. This warrants an investigation by this court to determine if the juror was in fact summoned and whether the due process rights of the parties were bypassed. Depending upon the results of the investigation, this may justify setting aside the verdict in its entirety and setting this matter for a new trial." Unsurprisingly, followers on social media couldn't help but wonder whether Juror 15 was the same one who spoke up in an interview with Good Morning America after the trial. The juror talked about why they didn't believe Amber, saying,
"The crying, the facial expressions that she had, the staring at the jury, all of us were very uncomfortable. She would answer one question and she would be crying, and 2 seconds later she would turn ice cold. Some of us use the expression crocodile tears."
He also said that one thing that hurt Amber Heard during the trial was the reveal that she had not yet donated her $7 million divorce settlement to charity, despite claiming to do so. Then he added that Johnny's lawyers were sharp, but Amber's lawyer frequently interrupted witnesses to get only the answer they wanted, and that caused them a lot. The juror also said that they questioned the authenticity of two much-discussed photos of Amber, with what was alleged to be bruising on her face. Johnny's lawyers had said that the color saturation in one had been manipulated to increase the prominence of the alleged mark on her face. And according to the juror, they couldn't tell which picture was real and which one was not. Could it be possible that Juror 15 was the same one Amber's legal team was referring to in their motion? Amber's team also claimed that the finding of defamation against Amber with a $2 million award was inconsistent with the finding of defamation against Johnny with a $15 million award. They said that with respect to the fact that the damages were excessive, there had to have been a miscarriage of justice. According to Amber's team, the $10 million has to be so excessive that everyone's shocked by it. Amber's legal team also stated that the award created the impression that the jury was influenced by passion, corruption, or prejudice, that the jury had misconceived or misunderstood the facts of the law, or that the award was so out of proportion to the injury suffered as to suggest that it is not the product of a fair and impartial decision. The document then concluded by saying, "For all the reasons set forth above, and for the reasons set forth on the record during the hearings and at trial, in the motions in limine and motions to strike, Ms. Heard respectfully requests this court to set aside the jury verdict in favor of Mr. Depp and against Ms. Heard in its entirety, dismiss the complaint, or in the alternative, order a new trial." While they didn't mention the judge directly in the motion, followers said that Amber and her team definitely blamed her for allowing the verdict to go the way it went. In fact, supporters left comments saying that when Judge Penny Azcarate allowed cameras into the courtroom for the case, she globally re-victimized Amber Heard and placed all future court cases of DV, SA, and IPV at risk for the same trauma. Someone actually said that they could write a lot more about the multitude of additional concerns regarding her handling of the case, but her decision to televise proceedings, in which Amber Heard was forced to recount horrific details, was reason enough to warrant misconduct. Some also left some unpleasant reviews for Judge Penny on the internet, saying that she seemed to be more interested in getting out of a courtroom on time than doing the job she was elected to do. Apparently, she also didn't stop lawyers from clearly manipulating and misrepresenting facts, evidence, and testimony during the trial. And she also didn't stop attorneys from being rude or asking questions in bad faith to fully cooperate with witnesses while giving testimony. Well, other people also said that Amber should just move on already. Like one who said, "OMG, when will this woman give up? No one is interested in your lies and your flaws. Thought you wanted to move on, so move on." Clearly, Amber is not moving on, and a lot more will be going on from her camp, and we can't wait to see how it all unfolds. And whether Judge Penny will be forced to directly clap back. As we wait for further details, here's another jaw-dropping video.